My grandfather came in 1912 when Guy Wiedeck invited the Blackfoots to come to Stampede. So come on in before I lock the door. My grandfather went to school in the early 1900s and could speak English. So a lot of the Blackfoot people that come to Stampede did not speak English. So my grandfather was the interpreter between Guy Wiedeck and the Calgary Stampede and the native people. And the importance of Stampede is my grandfather started this, and we want to keep it going for our family. And we don't want it to end, you know, at least not in my lifetime. It really means a lot to us to keep this going in the memories of my grandfather and my father.
'Cause this small town grew and it don't look like it did. Strangers' faces fill the streets, but I don't feel alone.
Our people used to meet, but we speak such diverse languages that when we would meet each other, we would have to communicate by sign language. So when somebody would meet somebody and they would motion where they're going, they would point to their elbow. And right away, we knew that they were going to Fort Calgary, so which is near the Elbow River. And I think we're just going back to that legacy, I guess, is what. And now, you know, we're here, it's a new area, so we need new change too. And I think we're trying to teach our children, you know, identity is really important, and we want them to know who they are, but foremost, we want them to know who they are based on their tribes. Personally, when I think about the camp and our relationship with the Calgary Stampede, a lot of people don't realize that we have a very long relationship, and a lot of people don't know the context of how our relationship began. In the era of when Guy Wiedeck had his idea of the stampede, we as Indigenous tribes, we were in an era of suppression. We were on reservations. We were we couldn't leave the reserve without the written permission of an Indian agent. We couldn't use our languages, we couldn't speak our languages, we couldn't do our ceremonies, we couldn't conduct our practices, everything. In that era, when Guy Wiedeck came up with this idea, and he lobbied the government officials of the day, and they said, okay, we can allow them to go out and do that. When we had this forum, of course, all our people came, you know, and that was the start. And just that act of us being allowed to showcase ourselves, that actually started, and it's been happening every year, and our people, you know, we respect that.
Well, you know, when I was young, when I came to Stampede, I didn't realize I'd be here today in this role as like teaching my kids and my grandson. You know, I was like at that age where my grandfather would talk about things. I'd sit there and listen to him. He'd talk about his life and the things that he did. And today, what he taught me and told me is coming back. It's coming back. Comes to me and oh yeah, my grandfather told me these things. Now it makes sense, years later.
So everything that Norrin had to share, it resonates deeply because it is about stories and it is about sharing and it's about culture. Did I get that right?
Yes.